Okay, that should be good to go. And I'll hit the record button and we'll be good. So let's bring up our screen here. Let's bring up our record on this computer. And yeah, welcome to today's next level session. We are starting on time. I was worried I was a bit late. Can somebody please let me know you can hear me as usual? Do comment in the box if you have anything you'd like to have covered at the end of the core content today. This might run a little bit. I had this subject that's been on my mind. I figured I want to share with you guys. And that subject is cold messaging. And part of this is coming out of my forays into LinkedIn in the last few weeks. We did a few sessions on LinkedIn. I've been personally going over there, and I see a lot of guys talking about cold email and messaging, and it kind of got me thinking along the lines of how would this apply to real estate? Now, cold email itself, the way that a lot of B2B companies do it isn't quite what I'm referring to here. We're going to more focus on other channels versus just sending one-to-one emails. But when we talk about cold messaging, we are talking about sending one-to-one messages that aren't mass spam. So you're not loading up 50 people into kvCORE and just sending a message to people you know. Instead, you are taking time, right? You're taking time instead of spending money to kind of do a little manual reach out. And I think this is going to appeal to both people who have a big marketing budget. Even if you do, you might decide you want somebody on your team doing this kind of stuff as sort of a sales development representative, so to speak. Or if you are just getting started, you don't have a big budget, I think this is a wonderful place to start to just sort of manually get your kvCORE database growing with fresh leads. So we're going to dive in on some specific scripts and scenarios here today. I'll just remind everybody, we got the replay from yesterday live in the members area, some non-real estate next level stuff you might want to plug into. I have the resources for that accompanying the video. If you missed that, go ahead and check it out. If you're watching this on YouTube, smash the like button. Or whatever they call it. What do the kids say? Smash the like button and subscribe. I'm getting pretty not as good as the channels my kids watch, but do that thing where you subscribe to our YouTube channel. YouTube will let you know when we post new content. We don't just do these live streams. We also are regularly posting quick tips and tricks and just other news. So yes, smash it, Chris. All right. So let's get going with some of this cold messaging idea. And for those of you who were on yesterday, we are going to do the landing pages session tomorrow. I wanted to sneak that in. We had a request to delay that a day for somebody who was on who couldn't make it today. So we're going to do this topic today and then landing pages tomorrow. All right. So what's cold messaging? Sending one-to-one messages, not spam, strategically targeted individuals who you might not know yet, or you're just getting to know. Right? It's kind of like you're a fresh contact. You've sent them a friend request or a connection request on something like LinkedIn with the goal of doing this, but you're not quite trying to sell them right away. You might want to have the relationship built a tad bit more. And then when would you do this? How would you get this into your flow? I might recommend trying this out every day for about an hour. Now, I personally, just to see what LinkedIn can do, I've been chilling on my phone at night while the kids are watching some TV I'm not interested in or something, and just kind of hanging out in the mobile app and sending some connection requests, searching for people on LinkedIn in particular. You can do this on Facebook too, and just sending requests. And it's amazing what's happened. People reach out, they reply, hey, thanks for connecting with me, and you start to have conversations. Now, at some point in these conversations, when you feel it's natural, you don't want to just jump in and start doing the scripts that I'm showing you here, but it might be natural within a few minutes, a few back and forths. At some point, you might send these kinds of messages. So a couple of example scenarios just to kind of show you what I'm talking about. And I will remind you guys, you're always free to send suggestions or let me know if you think this is not good or if it could be better. But let's just say we want to generate seller leads on Facebook, right? And we have people we probably know are home owners, either because we know they own a home because their friends are already on Facebook, or you have a good idea based on reaching out to them. They probably own a house. You know that they are, the principal of the school down the street or something like that. You send them a friend request and they've replied. So you could do something like this. So you could do, hi name, thanks for accepting my friend request. I recently got access to some great new tech that lets me build very detailed home value reports for homeowners. Would you be interested? And I might do something like this, like Tampa, Florida, right? Make it more specific to them. Would you be interested in seeing a report for your house? You might even put a screenshot of the report with your message. I don't know if you can do that. And then when they reply, ask for the address. So let's just try this out. Let me see. Who am I going to spam here? So I'll go into my Facebook. I'll look for existing friends that I have. I don't know why Facebook's logo is so slow. I'll look for existing friends that I have right here. Is this where you do that? Now I got to remember how to do friends. That's groups. One second. Apologies, guys. Let me get into the Facebook's properly here. Seriously, I'm hoping you guys can hear me, right? It seems like things are really slow for a second. I'm going to click on my friends under my name here, and then let's pick somebody who just random. I'll just go here.
Pick me. I'm your friend.
Are you on there?
I think so. You can type up at the top, Bajarski.
I thought it might be cool to do. Somebody like and actually get a response right now.
Oh, there you go. Okay, well, I'll pretend I didn't hear that then.
Yeah, but I actually don't know a lot of these people as well as I would like to, because you don't want to just go after somebody super fresh. I'll just think of a friend here. Do this. He's probably gonna be like, what the hell are you talking about? Okay. Okay, we've talked about his podcasting stuff. So I'm going to take this script. He's probably going to be like, what are you on crack? What are you talking about? But all right, real quick, make it sound natural, right? Okay, so Michael's a guy, I talk to him fairly regularly. In fact, he was on a webinar with us, now that I remember, talking about podcasting probably about 6 months ago. But I know he owns a house in the area. He's a friend of mine. He's not in my kvCORE database. We don't hardly ever talk about real estate, right? He probably knows I'm licensed or forgets. So I'll go ahead and send him a message. So that would be an example, right? You just go, you find people. I think, Kelly, we've talked about recently just kind of cruising Facebook for new friends. So you might spend an hour a day doing that. I think this particular one is fairly straightforward. You're just offering a home valuation, but you're teasing the fact, the strategy here is you're teasing the fact that you can build a very detailed report for their house. And when they reply, you just ask for the address. So you just say something like, cool, what's your address again? Michael's probably going to Slack me because we talk on Slack usually. And then when they do, you just send them, you use whatever tools you have at your disposal. Now we have Core Present going here at kvCORE, and we have -CMA, which might be tools you use, or use whatever else you use for that sort of thing to prepare them a home value report. But I think the key thing about this is that you're leading with something exciting, great new tech. And would you be interested? It's a report for their house. You're offering them something. You're not saying, hey, are you ready to list your house for sale? You're kind of just going, in an indirect route, offering them something cool of value. And at the same time you do that, you're kind of reminding them that you're in a business, and if they want to be helpful and nice at all, they'll probably do that. So all of us probably have, 10, 20, 50 people in our local market who we happen to be friends with on Facebook who aren't in kvCORE already that we could send this message to. So that's one idea.
I do something similar like that, where I will go in and message people in my farm. And I go in and I take a look at what's the most interesting property that sold recently, or the most expensive property. That's usually the one that gets the most responses. Is I'll pull the most expensive property in that neighborhood, and I'll target somebody that I know lives in that farm in my friend list, and I'll say, hey, wow, did you see how much this property sold for? How did you want to know how yours would stack up against it? I can send you a detailed report. And I get quite a few responses back, or at least just a good conversation starter when I send them something that's really hyper local too.
Yeah, really cool. I was actually going to try to bring up a screenshot here, because on Facebook, I think you can on LinkedIn too. I could have just gone and sent them an example report too, so they see what they're getting. You hear that ding? That was Michael going, what was that? All right, so he did reply. He replied in Slack, not on Facebook like I wanted him to. But to give you an idea, people will see that, right? It's Facebook. They have the Facebook app on their phone. They're going to see it right away. So I am looking for.
And I don't know about you, Ryan, but I feel like I get a much better response rate from going through Messenger. I feel like it's that kind of line of defense that's between you and somebody that you may not know really well, but they have such an immediate look into your profile and into what you're all about on Facebook that they're more apt to respond because they've had a chance to maybe just preview who you are if you don't know them very well. And so using Facebook Messenger is a way to kind of start that conversation and then bring them back over to your website. I think that's just a great strategy.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And yes, you can, when they say yes, they want to get the thing, you could post a link to whatever you're offering. In this case, the home value report, but if you're offering a list of investment properties, as we're about to talk to in a minute, yeah, you could definitely do that. So just know you can attach an image, guys. I don't have a core presentation handy, but I could have followed up and said, yeah, here's an example of what one looks like, right? And if you had one you did for another neighbor, maybe even share that one that you've done for your house or something like that. So that's the sort of homeowner on Facebook reach out. You can do the same thing on any social channel. Okay, another idea here is potential investor clients. So I think this would be a good one for LinkedIn or Facebook. Hi, name, hope you're well. I have a private email newsletter. And what's this private email newsletter? It's basically a mass email you send out once a week from kvCORE, right? I have a private email newsletter where I share the best Tampa real estate deals I'm finding from week to week. Would you be interested in seeing the list now and getting weekly updates? So pretty straightforward. This is kind of what you were just talking about, right, Kelly? In a way.
Yeah, for sure. Just something like that that's specific to what you think they might be interested in.
Yeah, and then when they reply, you would add them to kvCORE as hashtagged with whatever you use to send that newsletter once a week. And you might also send them to an offer wall with the current links to your deal types. So, but what I mean by offer wall is something we've talked about frequently. I have a living example on my site here where I have a custom page set up with links to income properties, foreclosures, fixers, land listings, and so on, and a quick little cheesy intro video right there. So, but you could say, oh, okay, cool, I've added you to the newsletter. In the meantime, here's a link to various property searches that'll help you find a good deal, right? Something like that. So I don't, so this might feel pitchy, but I think there's a fine line. And with real estate, it's not as pitchy as if somebody's just trying to sell you a home alarm system, right? They're like, hey, you want to buy this. Is I think we can easily send information that they'll find interesting that leads to a real estate relationship without jumping straight in and saying, hey, do you want to buy or sell a house? So again, just an example. Hey, real estate deals. Now, the nice thing about real estate deals, we mentioned this a lot too. Everybody wants to make a little extra money. Everybody knows that real estate's a great way to build wealth. So you're probably going to get a high take rate on this because who doesn't want to? Thanks, Kelly. Kelly shared a Core Present presentation. So let's do that real quick. I am sure Michael is scratching his head. I haven't looked at one of these in a while. Let's see. There's like a really sexy page with like values, right? We'll use this one.
You could either put the link in there. You could put the picture in there. You could.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I just did a screenshot.
Yeah. If you want to send them the whole presentation, and they're so easy to do, you might as well give them the whole thing. And then you can track his interaction on it because when he clicks on it, those links become, they're tracked in Core Present, so you can keep an eye on them.
Yeah, that is true. Yep. I'm sorry. I'm trying to just show you guys what I'm talking about. And it's going horribly wrong because I'm attaching the wrong thing. You guys get the point. Attach an image. All right. Or as Kelly said, put a link to an example Core Present that they can check out. So I guess, Kelly, you could, in theory, if it's somebody and you know their address already, you could kind of just make the report if it doesn't come across too creepy.
Well, that's why it works really well in your farm, is because you can pick, if they're willing to give you your address, you can either, well, if you're using that line like, hey, did you happen to see what this property sold for down the street? It's the most expensive one that sold in the last 30 days. Let's talk about how yours might stack up and, whatever. Then you can run the CMA on the listing that sold. So
gotcha.
you could run it on that, or you could, and if they're willing to give you their address, then, I mean, obviously you could do a Core Present on their, which would be even better if you did it on their own property.
Yeah. So like if it's somebody close to you, like one of my aunts, I'd be like, hey, hey, Aunt Lisa, I thought it'd be cool. I just did a report on your house. And she might not know that it's worth as much as it is in the report. You might get a list, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. So listings, investor clients. Now, investor clients, this angle right here could get you a listing lead, because it's just starting a conversation about real estate. Who knows how they reply? They might be like, yeah, I'm not really looking to buy something. I was actually thinking about selling. That does happen a lot, right? So just by reaching out and goes. There.
Kim jumped in late. She says, what does Core present?
Oh yeah. So that it's an add-on. I think your broker needs to have it, right? But
Yeah, your broker needs to have it.
You can get more details in the marketplace. And I think you can like request info and then somebody will reach out to you and your broker. But it's in short, it's as good as anything out there, probably better. It's probably the best thing out there. Is that fair to say, Kelly? I don't say.
You know what? I've used a lot and I really, really like it a lot. I do. I love the fact that it's so visual, and I love that it's got, yeah, you can look in the marketplace, Kim. I like that it's really visual, and I like it's easily, it's something you can do sitting at the kitchen sink with your client, and oftentimes that's where you're doing your listing presentations, is at the kitchen sink or at the kitchen counter. You're sitting in somebody's house, talking to them about their house, and you can easily adjust it right for them right there. And it gives you this big picture pricing, but when you drill down into it, it doesn't give you all that clutter. You don't end up with like 500 pages of a report. Everything you need really can be found right on this big picture pricing area. And it also does presentations, and we recently added buyer tours to it as well. So it's kind of a cool little add-on feature.
Yeah. Yep. Very cool for pre-listing presentations or other types too. So potential investor client, I have this yellow highlighter here, and I'm going to do a separate video about this and put it in the members area. But I've been playing around with LinkedIn's ad platform and sending messages in mails and paying per message. So you could actually go into LinkedIn, for example, and say, hey, I want everybody in my market with a specific job title, or I don't know if you can do income, but you can do job title and a few other variables, people who work at specific companies, and you can send this message automatically. And then it also has this sort of bot functionality where it'll start the conversation for you. So just know that that's a possibility, and we'll save that falls outside of the scope of cold messaging one-to-one, but you can run an ad that does this same thing. Next thing I put in here was LinkedIn or Facebook for recruiting or agent attraction, whatever you're calling it. And this is pretty much agents naturally, you're probably networking with other agents or sending friend requests as you do deals with people. And I'm just including this here. I don't know that you would use this script, but I think it's this is a case where you could be kind of straightforward about it, right? Hi name, hope you're well. Any chance you're recruitable now or in the near to mid future? We've got some more leads than we can we've got more leads than we can handle right now and could use some extra capable hands. So hopefully this is the truth. You have more leads than you can handle right now. If not, then do some of the next level training.
Or you know what? Or put in there what you do have the best of.
Yes.
Like I've got the best technology that we're using. We're using kvCORE. We've got the best technology. We've got state-of-the-art solutions to help grow your lead gen, something like that. But put your best foot forward. But I like that one. I think it's short and sweet, and it sounds very personal.
Yeah. Now, one thing that to caution you notice it says we've got more leads now that we can handle right now, more leads than we can handle right now. We're conveying some benefit to them instead of talking about, we just don't want to talk too much about our company on that first touch, I think. Because they're going to go,
that's a good point.
They're going to go, well, we got kvCORE too, or, yeah, sure, my company's awesome. They'll try to counter recruit you.
Oh, there you go.
Yep.
Good opposing side. So thank you for that. That's good clarification.
Oh yeah. No, but I do think hinting at like what you have makes sense. I was just saying we don't want to go full on. So if no answer, if you get a no answer, here we go. If you get no answer, you could just say no problem. Would be okay if I put you on our agent tips and tricks newsletter, something like that, right? To get them basically subscribed to you. And then if yes, you just say holy schmoly, I can't believe that worked. Just kidding, but you just then you just take it from there, right? So cold messaging definitely could work on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, wherever you want to. And remember, guys, every step of the way, you're going to manually add the contact to kvCORE when they reply. So there's not automation here. You're going to go to quick actions. You're going to click add contact, right? You're going to choose a hashtag type depending on what you're doing, a lead type. If they're an agent, you check agent, and so on. So that's that. Now, here's one that I used to do back when I was it was almost before we had all this tech, but I think I might have mentioned it yesterday, but you can walk into businesses, and guys, this actually works really well. This works surprisingly well. I recently had a friend of mine do this for another venture. He kind of just needed something to do for a little while between jobs. And it worked surprisingly well. And what he was doing, it was for a mortgage company I was doing some consulting for, and he was walking in with a basically just kind of like a rate sheet type of thing to local businesses and saying, hey, have you thought about refinancing or buying another property for your business? And it worked really well. So what you do is you kind of just walk in, you have a flyer in hand, right? You say, hi, are you the owner, or is the owner in? If they're not in, you just say, okay, no problem. I just wanted to drop this flyer off with details about some interesting investment opportunities in the area. So the best kind of format for this would be to just have a plain white or yellow sheet of paper, list the properties, right? Maybe 4 or 5 of them with the address. If you want to, going back to your training a couple of weeks ago, Kelly, if you want to add some QR codes to take them to information about the property, you could do that so they can scan and go to your website. And then you just say verbally, hey, if you'd like to get this list every week, just text the code on the flyer. So you would add a kvCORE code, call capture code to the flyer as well. Or you could use, some kind of call to action. And if the owner isn't in, just leave it. And surprisingly, the reason why this works so well is because you're dealing with other people in your market who are kind of entrepreneurs. And I like pizza shops and restaurants because a lot of times the sole proprietor might not be busy, especially if you do this, you want to pick a time of day when they're not. So for a pizza shop, that would probably be like after the lunch rush before the dinner hour. And they're kind of just hanging out watching TV or prepping for the night, and you have a better chance of having a conversation. But you're coming in with interesting information, real estate deals that could make them rich is like the psychology. And then you're offering, hey, would you like to get this list every week? What generally happens is you get into all kinds of fun conversations that here and there just lead into you helping their cousin buy a house right away. That's what happens when you talk to these kind of people. But the fact that you're cold dropping in with this message works really well. So not digital, requires a little more work, but if you're a totally new agent, highly recommend this one. Once you get over the nervousness of doing it, it really works. What does Kelly, Buffini call these pop buys for referrals or something? Isn't there like a
when you're going to the business owner, I just call it business to business door knocking.
Yeah, that's a good way to.
Because and we actually we made it. It became a standard in my area that our Chamber of Commerce usually puts something out once or twice a month where they do these. They call them walkabouts, where they'd go do a walkabout with the Chamber of Commerce people, and you usually buddy up with somebody, and you just go walkabout and introduce yourself as a local business person. And if it's your turn on the walkabout to be the sponsor, you have something that you give to that local business. So it's a fun and great way to get to know your business to business people rather than just, showing up with, empty handed. I always feel like if I come bearing gifts, I'm always going to get better results. So having a nice flyer, something that you can hand out to them, something of value, that'll get the job done.
Yeah. So this is how I would do it. I wouldn't spend too much time. Property 1, pick, QR code. You won't even need pictures. You can say 123 Main Street. You do two units, 12% cap rate, 125K, right? Something like that. You just format it so it's a little prettier. And then, have a QR picture for each. And then down at the bottom, I just want to share, you do something like get this update, get my weekly, or something like this. I update this list weekly, text deals to smart number, right? Your kvCORE smart number to receive the weekly update by text. Thanks. Ryan Hartman, Forever, Florida. Write your signature. You can put a picture of yourself on there if you want, just so they can, up to you. But really the important part about this is making sure this call to action at the bottom stands out. So you won't want to make it ugly and yellow or something, or point an arrow at it, and that the body of this has legit info. So and then drop it off.
And it's a great way to go and introduce yourself to local business owners. Just, walk in and say, hey, my name is Kelly with ABC Realty, and I'm just going out and meeting other small business owners and wanted to drop this off for you and see if you had a minute to chat. And it's pretty easy to do. Most people, especially in a business atmosphere, they're always looking to partner with business to business.
Yeah, definitely. And then I'm gonna let's go the full Monty here and remind everybody this tip that I think I learned from you, Kelly, is that you can just go to the property on your website. And then if you click in Chrome, you can create a QR code real quick, right?
There you go. Well, each listing in kvCORE, by the way, has its own QR code. So you could just go to the kvCORE and grab it, or you could do it on, the front. Either way it works.
Yeah. So you would just do it like that. I think.
And don't forget when you leave, by the way, this is just a little social media plug. Always offer to plug their business for them. Say, as you're walking out the door, say, hey, do you mind if I take a quick shot of us? And you take a photo of the front of their business and you blast it on Instagram, put it on your social media. I just wanted to give you a quick shout out and see if maybe this will bring you some business from some of my followers. You'd be surprised that they'll probably end up, if you tag them in it, they'll probably follow you back.
Very good point. Also offer to promote their business to your people's socials, something like that.
That's been on my mind lately because Friendship Week is coming up, International Friendship Week. And so I've been thinking about sending out a mass email to all of my vendors in my kvCORE. I've got that saved filter for vendors, and offer to, hey, you know what? I'd love to promote your businesses. You can just either go in and follow me, and I'll follow you back. It'd be great to do some co-marketing with you.
Awesome. Yeah, Dan's asking, where is that QR at again?
If you go into a listing, any listing, in the more action section on the right-hand side, and that little drop down, you could grab the QR code from it. Awesome.
Yeah, that's any listing. So a nice flyer. People know what these QRs are now, thanks to last year. So
yeah, one thing we got was the influx of QR codes. They're everywhere now.
Yep. So definitely a flyer like this, maybe, might be cool. Actually, I might make a little generator or like a template here. I mean, there's not much to this, guys, but I might make a template that you can use, but really not, really not hard to do. And if you're looking, again, all of these ideas, if you're looking for not to spend money and to get a lot of bang for your buck for time spent, I think we're barking up the right tree.
And I think you'll get a much better response when you start offering to promote their business while you're there.
Yeah.
You'll get a lot more interaction that way too.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. I guess so. You could put that on the flyer too. P.S.
Follow me on Facebook and I'll follow you back.
Yeah, if you'd like for me to promote your business to my database of, right? And this could be true, like 1,000, 1,500, 25 homeowners. Just shoot me, just let me know. And I'll send out a quick plug, right? Something like that. Cool. So that's that. Next we have just a few examples. Snail mail. I always like to bring up snail mail, right? But this would be an example of cold messaging in the sense that somebody you don't know yet, but you know a little bit about them. So you could use Remine or some similar data sources. I think Revaluate is a really good one that's out there. And you can say, hey, I'm working with a number, same kind of message. I'm working with a number of investors or buyers in your neighborhood. I noticed that you own this address, but you live out of town. If you ever become interested in selling the property to one of my buyers, feel free to let me know. I might say one of my investor buyers, right? Always working with a number of investor buyers. P.S. We also do property management versus sort of PPS. If you're more interested in buying than selling, right? Then you can do your call to action, text deals to XYZ. So this has been on my mind. We have a number of people over at Thanks.io doing this for real estate absentee campaigns. And I've seen some really good stuff happen there from what others are sending. I don't want to share too much about what they're doing, but just to show you what that might look like. Oh, and the other thing I wanted to mention with this is, it's funny enough that this is where the idea came from. I was messing around, Kelly, the other day with Google Maps, Google Earth. And have you been in Google Earth lately?
Not recently, but I've been seeing quite a few things coming out from Google Earth.
Well, so the other day, I don't know why it's loading so slow, but the other day I went on Google Earth and I zoned into my in-laws' house where I'm staying for the summer here. And it just gave me the coolest image of their property. Like, and I was thinking about it in a direct mail context. It was something that like I could see somebody hanging on their refrigerator. So they would get this mail piece from you that's a solicitation, but I could see them holding on to it because it gives them a very interesting picture of their home, right? So I'm gonna show you guys where I am right now. I remember how to get there. Here we go. Here we go. But isn't this fun?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I'm zooming in with my mouse. Oh boy, where am I?
Of course, we're all looking for our own houses now, right now, as you speak.
Yeah, of course you are. Go ahead and look for your own house. But basically the idea is you could zoom in like this, right? So imagine an absentee owner, and this does take a little bit. It's it's cold outreach. Here, can I find it? Okay, guys.
You know what I would do with this?
Just type in the location.
You know what I would do with this, Ryan? I would take that link and I would shorten it and I'd put it in a text code, and I would say, check out I would send it to somebody in my farm. I'm all about my farm. So I would send it to somebody in my farm and say, something, use it as an icebreaker. Like, I have the most amazing photo of your house. I don't know if you've seen it from this perspective. This is what buyers are using these days. And I would send them the link to it. I would use a text code, and I would send them this link so that they could just see this, because this is kind of cool.
This is trippy. So I just realized you can click the thing up at the top left, the magnifying glass, and put the address in.
That's what I did. I put my address in there, and it's there. It is right there next to the school.
And going on a little tangent, this would make an awesome Facebook ad for a specific.
Oh yeah.
List. So you could use Screencast-O-Matic, and you could record a video of this. It's just spinning on its own. I'm not doing that. And
it just seems to go around in a circle.
Yeah. And look, it looks like I have to get better at using this, but I think you can come in. But here's my in-laws property. I'm right here where my mouse is right now. If you guys are curious, if you want to send a bomb or something, I'm right here. You can get it first. Oh no, I'm up toward the front. Anyway, if you
they even have 2D and 3D versions of it.
Yeah, what's that?
Down in the lower right corner, if you do a 3D version.
Yep, I'm clicking that now.
That's pretty cool.
All right. Anyway, so what if you got a postcard or a personalized note card, and it was your house like this? And if you even knew the date, you could use street maps, but this was probably a year or two ago based on just, the property, what I know of it. So I will click screenshot 550, and then I can come in.
And Rick is saying you could send the picture out as a postcard in thanks.io and then do a QR code on the back, linking it to a CMA completed on -CMA, which I think is genius.
Yep. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, exactly.
Try that 3D version. That's pretty cool. I would put that in a text code, and I'd put that in a QR code. And I'd put all that on the back of a postcard.
Yeah. So you put the URL here. Right. And then you would paste some messaging like this. Now, this could be any of the messaging we mentioned above, guys. And we're giving specific examples here, but you could use the homeowner messaging that we had, when we're sending people to Facebook on a similar, and just reword it slightly. You see, it'll give that, and then it has the scan me. It could be scan the code now to see what your property might sell for in today's market. So you can do that, and so on. So Rosetta, yeah, this is being recorded. It will actually be on our YouTube channel a little later today, and it'll be in the next level members area as well. So, but yeah, that's just an example of how you would use direct mail, and you could do the same thing to local businesses if you're not going to go in person. The script I have here is just wanted to take a minute to introduce myself. I specialize in helping fellow entrepreneurs build wealth through real estate investing. If you're at all interested in acquiring investment property, in the area surrounding your business, feel free to text me anytime. You can also text deals to number to see some curated investment property deal links now. Now, I think something like this in a sealed note card with a nice stamp and a handwritten envelope, right, could make an impression for the right. And if you're surgically targeting, you're doing one-to-one cold messaging to people you really want to do business with. Maybe it's the restaurant owner that you always go to. And this is where the business becomes fun, right? Send them this message and you build that relationship like that. So, yeah. So there we have it, guys. Just some examples of cold messaging. Again, so many different ways you could do this, but you don't always have to do, pay-per-click ads the way we talk about, where you're trying to generate 100 leads a month. You could do this kind of stuff, generate 2 or 3 really good conversations a month and grow your business this way, of course. And then all along the way, you're going to do the fundamental things we talk about all the time with respect to working with kvCORE, and that is you're going to get them added as a contact, and you're going to, best practice would be for everybody you get in there, setting them up with some kind of alert and possibly a campaign, an automated property alert. So my buddy Michael, for example, here, I'm gonna Slack him in another window you guys can't see.
Ryan, have you guys done a session on just some daily best practices, like how to use the CRM and some just really great strategic, 5 things you need to do every day?
Yeah,
when you're using kvCORE.
We have, but if you want to do maybe next week, Kelly, we can do that and update it. Ernest has done that a few times.
Oh, cool. Okay.
But if you want to do a version of yours, I'm sure people would look forward to seeing that.
Yeah, I'm always an advocate of getting into habits and best practices, and I think it's fun to share strategies and tips on what people are doing and how what's their go-to, their 5 go-tos every day.
Yeah, I'm going to share with everybody watching live. It's in our YouTube channel. It's driving re-engagement with Ernest. I think that was one of them. And I think if you guys look in the webinars inside of Next Level, you'll find that as well. Let's see, I'll drop this here. Oh, I'm shocked, Kelly. Nobody has asked me for these scripts yet. Maybe they're not that good. Nobody said, where's
I
the
think they're
link?
great.
I know, I'm just kidding. Here, I'll give you guys the link to the doc. There, we're gonna just share it to everybody.
Chris is awful.
Yeah. There we go. All right. So we'll make sure that these are included wherever you're watching this video down below in the description if you're watching the replay. And look, look, Michael replied. I don't know, it worked. Cool.
Those one-off personal messages. I mean, when in the old days, way back, because I am older than dirt, in the old days when I first learned to be a real estate agent, my broker said, sit down every day, no matter what you do, before you leave the office and write 5 notes to somebody, 5 thank you notes. Well, obviously things change over the years, but I've really tried to maintain that as one of my best practices, and to reach out before I leave my desk every day and message 5 people, whether it's in a text, whether it's in Messenger, whether it's through LinkedIn direct messages, Instagram. There's so many ways to connect with people. You can send at least 5. But what you're sending them should be something of value. It should be something that's worth them giving a second glance at. And the more personal you can make it, the more likely you're to make that connection with them. People can they can spot when there's a canned message coming across. And I love the way that Ryan put his in there, because they really do sound personal.
Yeah. Wow, this thing is fun.
I know, we have a lot of fun. We could do a whole thing on this. This is a pretty cool tool.
So look, I'm gonna creep Michael out now. Here we go. Screenshot. Just for fun.
I'm not sure if I need drones anymore. I'm thinking I'm going to use Google Earth. Save that money.
The video making possibilities here from a real estate perspective for ads and stuff, even if you're just cold messaging somebody, is like, hey, I mean, I hit record on Screencast-O-Matic and I can fly anywhere. Let's go to my house. Right? Wouldn't that make a fun ad?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Enough goofing around. But yeah, guys, check out Google Earth. The link to the scripts I just posted, Rosetta, right above in the chat. I posted a link to the doc, and it'll be with
Oh,
the
you know what?
replay.
You sent it to the host and panelists.
I did.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
that's okay. I do it all the time.
To hit everybody. Well, it was, it was funny. It was selected to you
Oh,
for
that's
me
why.
to talk directly to you. And then I chose that thinking I was doing the right thing, but I was not. Here we go. Paste. There we go. There you go, guys. Thanks, Rosetta, for prompting that. And then Michael's just going to be like, all right, whatever.
Maybe you'll sell my house.
Yeah. All right. All righty. Cool. It's funny you say that though, but sometimes it's the people closest to you, right? They end up and go listing with somebody else, not even realizing you might want the business. So these conversations could also lead to that. So, yeah. Cool. Well, thanks guys for the participation today. Was there anything else, Kelly, that you had, or if anybody else listening wants us to look at something really quick in kvCORE that you might have questions about? We have a little bit of time. Otherwise, we will wrap it up.
And if there's anything that you'd like to see on an upcoming next level session, pop in a topic. We're always looking for new topics.
Yeah.
Anything that you maybe are struggling with, anything that you just need a little extra help on, just maybe something brand new. We're open to all things. Core present.
Cool.
I want to see core present.
Aren't there public sessions about that a few times a week?
There's actually a Q&A session in the training calendar. So if right from the dashboard, you should be able to see a core present Q&A. I don't remember what day it is. I think Christina does it.
Yeah, so you could go, there's a link, guys, just to remind you in your dashboard to the training calendar, which is what I just had up. It's at the top right of your kvCORE dashboard. And remember our kind of pro tip here, if you control F in your browser, in Chrome at least, you can type present in, it'll take you to the next Core Present live demo. Looks like we don't have another one till the 24th. So do us a favor, who was asking for that? We could probably get our recording.
Rosetta.
Yeah. Oh, Rosetta. Yeah. Do you want to drop your email real quick, and I'll work on getting you a recording over. You can just drop that privately to us. But yeah. So the next one isn't until Tuesday the 24th, most likely because we have a little bit of a company meet next week. A lot of us aren't going to be around, Kelly, right? That's why it's delayed a week. But yeah. Thank you, Rosetta. I'll just save this for you and make sure we get that sent out.
Oh, Kim wants it as well.
Cool.
Maybe I should wrangle somebody to do a little quick core present for us, a little overview. Maybe we can work that in on one of our sessions.
I think we can. Tomorrow I promised that we would do landing pages. Why don't we do that though? Why don't we just sneak one in? Are you comfortable doing that? I've got a nutty day tomorrow.
No, I can do it. Well, we don't have to do it. We can sneak in a separate section. I'm happy to do it. Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to do it after tomorrow's next level or at the end? Or?
Yeah, I'll just come in at the end. That sounds great.
Okay. So tomorrow what we'll do landing pages deep dive for about a half hour, 45 minutes. We had a request earlier this week. And then kind of piggybacking on that session, we'll show everybody Core Present in depth. And maybe we'll just do that in the beginning, Kelly, and then move into the landing pages. So,
well, I actually can bring in another expert as well. We have Miss Christina, and I have her attention at 2:00, so we can do it right after. That'd be great. Just if everybody wants to stick around for an extra 10, 15 minutes, we'll go through Core Present at the end of tomorrow's session.
Okay, I'm going to put that on the training calendar for tomorrow, guys. And it may be a separate link just to keep things tidy. But it'll be on the calendar in a little while. So yeah, Core Present coming right at you tomorrow in 24 hours. Okay. Thanks, Kelly.
No problem. Have a great day, everybody.
Okay. Yeah, have a great day, everybody. We'll get the replay live on YouTube and in the next level members area shortly. Bye-bye.